Welcome to Missing Persons Archives, a channel dedicated to sharing real stories of those who vanished without a trace. Here, we explore the facts, the timelines, the investigations, and the unanswered questions behind each disappearance. These are more than cases. They are people, and every story deserves to be told. Subscribe and join us as we shine a light on the missing. In this episode, we take a deep dive into stories that defy logic, challenge reason, and still haunt families and investigators to this day. 5 chilling, mysterious disappearances from 3 friends who vanished without a trace after their murdered friend was found, to a little boy whose mother left behind only a note, and a young woman in Poland who disappeared barefoot on a long walk home. Each story is uniquely terrifying. These are cases with no answers, no resolutions, and only one question: what really happened? Case 1, the Toronto Trio. In 2005, 17-year-old Philip Sitt vanished in Ontario, Canada. Nearly a year later, on August 9, 2006, his decomposed body was discovered in a wooded area of York. His murder remains unsolved. Just 5 days after that discovery, 3 of his closest friends also disappeared: Eve House, Kevin Lim, Jackie Lee. Eve and Jackie were a couple. Kevin had known Eve since childhood. All 3 were close with Philip and were part of the same social circle. Jackie's mother said goodbye to him the morning of August 14th when he left for work. He never arrived. Kevin told his grandmother he was heading to the store and to leave the door open. He didn't have a key. He never came back. Eve told a friend she'd meet her at the mall, but never showed. And then, they were all gone. What's deeply eerie about this case is that the news of Philip's body being found wasn't made public until August 25th, 11 days after the trio vanished. Had they known about the discovery somehow? Were they targeted, or did they vanish for reasons unrelated to their friend's death? Police confirmed that Jackie had told his mother he was planning to meet 3 friends that day. Despite intense public interest and speculation, no new information has ever emerged. No evidence, no sightings, no conclusions. To this day, the fate of Eve, Kevin, and Jackie remains unknown. Case 2, Craig Frear. July 27, 2004, 17-year-old Craig Frear, a high school soccer star from Scotia, New York, was last seen walking into the woods. Earlier that day, Craig had been at his girlfriend's apartment. His mother, concerned he hadn't been showing up for work at the Price Chopper grocery store, had gone to speak with him. She found out Craig had quit weeks ago and hadn't told her. He promised to come home to talk about it. Instead, he went to his girlfriend's. The last confirmed sighting of Craig came from 2 middle school boys who saw him walking along the railroad tracks at 2 p.m. He looked at them, raised a finger to his lips in a shushing gesture, and vanished into the trees. That was the last time anyone ever saw Craig Frear. Despite over 500 interviews, extensive ground searches, and no shortage of effort, no trace of Craig has ever been found. At the time of his disappearance, Craig was 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighed 190 pounds, and had red hair, brown eyes, facial dimples, and a St. Christopher medal around his neck. Anyone with information is urged to contact the New York State Police at 518-630-1700. Case 3, Timothy Pitzen. May 11, 2011, Amy Fry picked up her 6-year-old son Timothy from Greenman Elementary in Aurora, Illinois. She claimed there was a family emergency, but instead of going home, Amy took Timothy to the Brookfield Zoo, then to the Key Lime Cove Resort, and the following days were spent visiting water parks and attractions. Surveillance footage showed the two seemingly happy, smiling, laughing. But on May 13th, Amy checked into a motel room in Rockford, Illinois, alone. She died by suicide. Next to her body was a chilling note. "Timothy is safe. You'll never find him." Authorities later found a concerning amount of Timothy's blood in the back of Amy's SUV. Though it was explained as likely due to his frequent nosebleeds, the unease lingered. Forensic analysis of the SUV revealed it had been parked in a grassy field lined with Queen Anne's lace and black mustard, backed in near a gravel road treated with reflective beads. But the exact location was never identified. To this day, Timothy Pitzen has never been found. If alive today, he would be 19 years old. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Aurora Police Department at 630-256-5000. Case 4, Iwona Wieczorek. On the night of July 16, 2010, 19-year-old Iwona Wieczorek attended a party and then went clubbing with friends in Sopot, Poland. An argument broke out at the club. Iwona was seen crying and leaving alone, barefoot, her high heels in hand. She began a 4-mile walk toward her home, texting her best friend Adria and eventually calling to say she'd instead come to her house. Adria said she left a key outside. Iwona never arrived. Security cameras showed her on the Jelitkovo Beach promenade, followed closely by a man with a towel over his shoulder. Authorities insist this man was not involved, but offered no explanation. A reward of 1 million Polish zloty, approximately $270,000, remains unclaimed. Over 100 people were interviewed. No clues, no suspects, no trace of Iwona has ever been found. It's as if she vanished into the night. Case 5, Robert Hourihan. April 8, 2011, 33-year-old Robert Hourihan left his home in Virginia for work, or so it seemed. 2 hours later, a friend spotted his white Chevy Cavalier with the personalized plate Taramai heading in the opposite direction of his job. That same morning, 2 co-workers reported seeing him at a grocery store in Palmyra having breakfast, but Robert wasn't scheduled to work that day at all. 7 weeks later, his car was found abandoned in a Target parking lot in La Plata, Maryland. His expensive electrician tools were still inside. His medication, required daily for a heart condition, was left behind. His prescription had not been refilled. He has never been seen again. Case 6, Kayelyn Louder. In September 2014, 30-year-old Kayelyn Louder, a social worker in Utah, was preparing for a quiet weekend. Surveillance footage first showed her walking her pug, Phyllis, in her condo complex. But hours later, she's seen running barefoot into the rain with no purse, phone, or shoes. This was the last time Kayelyn was seen alive. Leading up to her disappearance, she made several bizarre 911 calls. One reporting a gunfight at the condo clubhouse, which turned out to be a peaceful wedding reception. Another claiming 2 men were in her home. Her roommate, present at the time, found no intruders and said the doors were locked. Weeks later, Kayelyn's body was found in the Jordan River. The autopsy was inconclusive. No foul play was ever confirmed, but questions remain. What caused Kayelyn's sudden fear, and what really happened in the final hours of her life? The stories you've heard today are more than strange. They're heartbreaking, real, and unresolved. If you or someone you know has any information about these cases, please contact the appropriate authorities. Even the smallest clue could make all the difference. Subscribe to Missing Persons Archives for more in-depth stories about real-life vanishings, and help keep these names in the public eye, because sometimes awareness is the only justice we can give. Stay safe, stay vigilant, and never forget the missing.